Yeah, I know them. Time is 4:32 on your hometown station, KHTS. Listen, aging is a universally irresistible process. You know, some people try to fight father time with plastic surgery. More and more people these days are fighting it by freezing themselves in cryotherapy chambers. It's nuts. Some just try to prolong it with just standard diet and exercise. No matter what you are, or no matter who you are and what your method is, the majority of us, let's be honest, prefer to stay at home as we age. We'd like to keep the family there. We want to keep the family happy, but it could be a real time commitment, and it can really take a toll on us emotionally. Thankfully, we have Myles McNamara and the Comfort Keepers in-home care team to help our aging relatives keep them where they're happiest and healthiest and most comfortable.
Right in their own home.
Yeah, he's joining me in studio once again. Myles, what's happening, man?
How you doing, Aaron? Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you. I see you're without the leather jacket today.
I am. Brought the umbrella, though.
Exactly. You do have the Comfort Keepers in-home care sweater on, which we do like. I can't think of one person in my family who isn't stubborn, myself included. We all want to be in control at all times. We want to feel like we're in control. So really admitting to ourselves that we need help is difficult enough, let alone initiating that conversation with somebody in our family. How do we go about starting that conversation?
And that's the great question, because it is universal from all directions in that I can't tell every single client I probably bring on board. I've had a talk with the adult kids who, again, they're our heroes. Our parents are our heroes. They're, but now they're getting that time in their life where they need a little help. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't tell you how often that an adult child would say, Dad really needs this help, but he says no. And I say, well, unfortunately, you have to help Dad make the decisions now. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the last say. But we have to approach it with dignity and respect. And the verbiage is really important. And so the way I guide a lot of our adult children is, first of all, I say this respectfully. I've never met a senior that needs help. They're proud, they're independent. But I tell them never use the word caregiver, because we are non-medical and we assist with all aspects of daily living. So it would be like you or I helping out our grandfather or our own parents, that kind of a helping hand. So the way we approach it is, we're like a concierge service. Mm-hmm. Basically, you've worked hard all your life, and sometimes we bring people into the home to, whether it be gardening or house cleaning or whatever it is.
Making food.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I always tell my clients, kids say we're a concierge service. We are like a valet, a butler, if you will. Uh-huh. Because if you say caregiver, immediately they think nurse. Mm-hmm. Immediately they think loss of independence. They think loss of control. So the verbiage is really important. And when you have that talk with your parents, and it's just a helping hand, and it's going to allow you to stay in your own home safely and let this concierge service prepare your meals, do the light housekeeping, take you to doctor's appointments. But we always have to approach it respectfully, as I say. But it's a lot of times as we grow older and our bodies start to fail us, our mind stays sharp. So imagine, if you will, if I were to walk up to you and say, Aaron, you know what? We've all made the decision that you can't drive anymore, so give us your keys. Well, you're saying WTF, it's like, wait a minute, and now you're losing your independence, you're losing your control. And again, I know I look in the mirror all the time, I'm like, who's that little guy staring back at me? Because we all still feel 20, we all still, you still are in your 20s. So,
right.
But again, so it's don't use the word caregiver or nurse. And then on the slippery slope side of it, sometimes our parents are no longer able to make that final decision. Now we have to look out for them, and that's the hardest pendulum swing we'll ever experience in our life, is when we have to start parenting our parents, and we have to overruling their decisions because maybe they're not making the best decisions anymore.
Now, Myles, some of the signs are evident. If you see bruising on the leg, it could be an indication of them falling. What are some of the signs that we might not be able to see that aren't so evident?
Well, it's the things that we take for granted. A lot of times, our folks are on the phone telling us, oh, we're fine, asking how the kids are, what have you. But especially in the holidays, but that time of year is over. But a lot of times the holidays are the only time of the year we physically see our parents, if it's a long distance relationship. Mm-hmm. But it's just the things that mom and dad used to never let happen, like their personal hygiene is different. The cleanliness of their house is different. There's spoiled food in the refrigerator. There's past due notices on the counter. There's real evidence that we have to back up. Sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees, so you really have to pay attention. And then next time you go on an errand with your mom or your dad, let them drive. It's, because we always, we'll drive, but let them drive and, kind of observe their driving skills, and just take note of things that, they used to do on an everyday basis with no effort, and now they're struggling a little bit.
Right. My grandma's always been reckless. I drove with her a couple weeks ago, still reckless. So yeah, everything seems to be. So the Comfort Keepers in-home care team also provides initial in-home assessments. They'll come in, offer practical solutions, some products maybe, to keep your home safe, keep your relatives safe.
Well, and that's the first part is the first step in seeing if it's right for you and your family is my care manager will come out and do a no obligation, no charge assessment, just to sit in the home and talk with the family, answer more questions about home care, see what type of activities they need assistance with. Our care plans are always very flexible because, again, we're non-medical, and if maybe today they want to go to a movie, or maybe they want to go to the store, or maybe they just want to do whatever it is around the house. So the first step would be to sit down and have that conversation. Again, omitting the term caregiver or nurse, a concierge service that, and a lot of times we can obtain the assistance of our physicians, get mom's dad or get, get mom's doctor or somebody to say, what, the doctor thinks you need a helping hand. That generation, we call them the great generation, they really, no disrespect to doctors, but they really believe everything the doctors say. We question everything the doctors say now. Google's our friend. The minute we hear something, we're Googling it and we're jumping on and finding out. But seniors really do respect what doctors say, and the doctors are right 98% of the time. So wherever you can get the assistance and have the doctors get involved in that care plan too.
So, Myles, you were in earlier this week. You kind of gave us a tip. You said no matter what age, if you're an adult, you should have your affairs in order, 18 to 80 and even beyond. If a medical or healthcare emergency kind of comes about, it's never a bad idea to be prepared with kind of the needed documents. Can you go through that again?
Right, and that was our tip of the month. And a lot of times folks, they don't know what they don't know, and they're not prepared. And they think that they can, just because they're a spouse or a parent or an adult child, that they can speak on behalf of their loved one. And the answer to that is no. If you go to the hospital and you're talking to the doctor about what mom, he's going to say, where's your advanced healthcare directive? Where's the HIPAA release? Because there's a huge attention being paid to HIPAA and privacy, and the hospital can't talk to you, even if you're the adult child, or even if it's your own child who's gained the age of 18 that are now legally adults. So the big tip here is have your advanced healthcare directive in order, which gives the power of attorney medically, and there's another one for financial, but especially medically, that you can speak on behalf of your loved one if they're unable to speak for themselves. So, you can do that through your trust. You can do a lot of different document preparations, but the biggest thing, and then keep copies of it in your glove box at the house, wherever you may be. But that advanced health care directive allows you to speak on behalf of your loved one legally when they're unable to speak for themselves.
Got to be prepared. You can call Myles at 661-287-4200. That's 287-4200. Also serving the San Fernando Valley, he has a number, 818-360-1995, 818-360-1995, to learn how the Comfort Keepers in-home care family can help your family.
Now, let me throw out there, too, Aaron, if they want to go to my microsite other than comfortkeepers.com, I've created another site that has a lot of YouTube videos and answers a lot of frequently asked questions, and that's seniorcaresantaclarita.com.
Also, Myles is also a host of Aging with Power here on KHTS. Catch it the first Tuesday of every month at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. 11 a.m., where they discuss challenges and topics that people deal with as they age. It's a good show. Check it out. Catch all the podcasts at hometownstation.com. Myles, thank you so much for coming in and joining me.
Thanks, Aaron. My pleasure.
Of course, 4:42, quick break, traffic and weather coming up.
It is